have to feed Rodan tomorrow.
Man. And, you know, I had so many other things queued up here for the show. I was turning them all off.
Yeah, man, we had it timed down to the second. Now we've lost 7 minutes. What are we going to cut?
I had them all queued up for the show.
Well,
okay, so we'll just have to work through it tonight. We'll just work through it. Okay, he apologized right there. Okay, gee, man. Why is it so difficult sometimes? Oh, gee. Okay. All right, so let's just let everybody know what they're watching. I want to say hello, good evening to everybody out there. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable. This show is all about ham radio and also audio feedback tonight. We're coming to you from western Tennessee, near the Mississippi River, near Memphis, Tennessee. And we welcome you if you're listening out there on international shortwave tonight on 7490 kilohertz. We welcome you and so glad you're with us on WBCQ shortwave. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. Let us know where in the world you are and also how you're hearing the station. Now, if we haven't run everybody off, I have no idea who's still here. Please subscribe. We really need you to subscribe to our channel. I'm putting a little arrow right there. We put a little subscribe box on there for you to make it easy. So if you'll just click on that subscribe box, that really helps us out to rank our show and help YouTube to help advertise it to other people that might be interested in ham radio. Okay. Join our Facebook group too. We've got a great Facebook group that follows this show. It's all about ham radio, and it's just called W5KUB. So join our group. We've got 12,000 hams in that group now. And it's growing quite rapidly. People all the time are trying to send me a friend request, and I don't really approve any friend requests because
you don't have any friends.
I don't have but 5 friends, and they're mostly family. And that's the ones I have on my personal page. And you can imagine I don't want to have 12,000 people on my personal page. But if you're looking for me, I'm always on the W5KUB page. And that page is simple to find, and just click on it and join it, and we'll be glad to have you. Also, many of you may not know, but we're on we have an audio podcast too. In addition to shortwave, in addition to this video show, we have an audio podcast that's carried out there by iTunes and Google Play and just about every iPod carrier out there carries our show, and it's called Amateur Radio Roundtable, and you can download or you can just listen to the audio version of this show every week, and it's loaded. That show is loaded by the next morning after the show every week. So check it out if you're driving around. You just want to listen to the fun. You can do that. Okay, Brett says, I haven't seen Katie on a show in several weeks. Okay. Let me tell you what's going on with Katie. I was in communications with Katie today. Katie has had shoulder surgery, and they've gone in and had to, clean up a bunch of tendons and, put screws in and hook the tendons up and clean it out and all that kind of stuff. So it's been pretty rough for her the past weeks, and she says, that it's still going to be a long road for recovery, and it's been painful, and she's on a lot of medicine, a lot of drugs, so she didn't want to come on a show being all drugged up. I thought that might make her more fun, but she says she doesn't. She'll come on as soon as she can get this shoulder healing a little bit. So. That's where Katie has been.
She won't be throwing no dipoles up in trees for a little while.
That's right. Yeah. So that's the story on Katie. She is still with us. She just had some surgery, and she just doesn't. Just can't get on.
I actually said that to her, Glenn.
What's that?
Well, I told her, to stop throwing stuff at Dwayne.
Oh yeah. All right. Well. So that's that. All right. Well, tonight I got several things tonight just to go over with. We'll probably open the Zoom up for anybody to join us, just maybe a little early tonight. But hey, guys, soldering stations. Let's talk soldering stations a minute. Now, I by Bill's recommendation, I bought me a Metcal station. He told me that's what a lot of production companies use. It's kind of neat. You can change the tips as you go. Big tip, fine tip, broadband tip, chisel tip, and all that kind of stuff. And it's a pretty nice soldering iron. It's not an expensive iron. Now, Bill can tell us in a minute. Bill, you can tell us about your soldering iron. Bill's soldering iron cost $1,000. I didn't want to do that. I only put about $300 in my soldering iron. But I was reading on some Facebook groups the other day, and with some of the newbies out there, and they said, "Man, I didn't know what a quality soldering station was until I bought this one on the internet." It's one of those $30 or $40 soldering stations you get. I've got like 3 or 4 of them in here, the exact same model, that keep going bad on me. I don't know what's wrong with the thing. So I think a high quality.
I bought one and it lasted me for 9 years.
Did it?
Yeah, and then it acted like it was dying, but I ended up fixing it. And, I ended up selling it and got a replacement just because. That's
great. Well, so anyway, I bought me a Metcal soldering thing, and I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. But probably you guys do the same thing I do, or maybe you're not. But sometimes I'm forgetful, and I'll be soldering, and hey, I may go in and get a snack or something and forget, or somebody comes to the door and I forget, and it stays on for hours. Or I've even gone to sleep at night, and the next morning find out that I've left my soldering iron on all night. Now, I guess your really expensive ones are going to kind of throttle down, and they're going to try to help cover that situation. But
mine turns off after about 5 minutes, completely off.
All right, so here's what I did, guys, and it has worked out wonderful, man. I bought me just a simple. This is a 30-minute timer. And a lot of people would use this like on irons, for ironing clothes and stuff. It can handle a current, but you just press a little button right here, and press a little button, and hey, you got 30 minutes, and it's pretty easy. Just when I'm working at the workbench, just every now and then, just hit that button there for another 30 minutes, and if I leave, it turns off. So mine is not built in like Bill's, but this little thing does wonders, and I'll tell you, if yours doesn't do it automatically, you ought to get you something like this if you do a lot of soldering. And
I don't leave mine on, but the cats do. So
yeah. Well, the cats may pull it out of the little holder there and set something on fire with it, so you better be careful.
Wouldn't surprise me.
All right, so hey, that's my hint and tip tonight on soldering stations there. Let's see what they're having to say in the chat room.
Well,
there.
Brett is saying that irons are actually required by Underwriters Labs to turn off automatically, but I've never seen one that does that.
Yeah, I don't know that mine will do that. I'm not sure about that. I think mine is it will I don't know what the word, thermal down, I guess, if you're not using it. And then if I start using it, it has very fast recovery. I mean, that sucker will heat up fast. And that thing from cold to hot enough to melt solder, about 10 seconds, man, that sucker is ready to go. And I can pull off, Bill, one of the, and it comes with that little pad that you can pull the tips off with, keep from burning your hand. So I can pull a tip off and pick up another tip and slide it on here. But before I get that sucker slid all the way on, that tip is so hot, I've got to almost turn loose of it. So it's fast. So anyway, wanted to talk about that. So Bill, tell me about yours, Bill.
Covering to it, it just comes out like an audio jack.
Yeah.
It's a WX2 by Weller.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see them for about $900 or so. They're probably close to $1,000 now with part shortages. I'll go out. I'll show you what one of the tips looks like. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. So, you know, that's something you can do there. I think Bill's going to go get a tip. Going to get a tip? Okay. All right. So let's see. Okay. But I'm happy with my soldering station. You can tell the difference in a cheapie and one of medium quality. I really can, tell the difference. Let me turn my 220 radio down, and we're getting some chatter on 220. I need to turn it down. I don't know if you guys were hearing it or not. 220 is really active in Memphis. We have a couple really nice 220 repeaters here.
Yeah, did you see in CQ, I think it was the December issue, that the Memphis Bullfrog Simplex Net got a plug?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It was in the VHF column.
Okay. Well, I've checked in at net once or twice. I've heard them on. I typically don't get on VHF or anything very, very often.
Hey, Bill, you can get those kind of cool things when you have a NASA budget to work with.
Yeah, it's my own.
Back,
it's
let me
my
let's
own
see what he's
budget.
got. What is that?
This is one of the tips from the Weller WX2. It's these cost about $25-$30 a piece.
Yeah.
But if you see, this is the hot end.
Yeah.
But this is it's like a stereo audio jack, and they run the power through that. So, and this is a rubber coating, so this is not hot at all. So I can hot swap it just by pulling it out of the handle and putting another one right back in, and I don't need any special things to hold onto the iron. So it's real handy. I can swap these out.
I think the design of that. The design of that could be dangerous. That looks like a earphone plug on the end, and somebody might.
I tell you what, you'd hear some things if you plug that into your headphones.
Somebody might think that's for audio, and I don't know how they put it in your ear, but oh man,
that'd be like a heated earmuffs at that point.
Yeah.
I was going to say, excuse me, looks like a blow dart.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
All right.
But I've got various tips, various size tips. This is a fine point, and then I have wider tips that for different things.
All right.
But
so
it's real handy.
So since Bill made me close out everything I had preloaded here, I'm gonna have to bring up a couple things here. Oh man, I tell you what. I think this is what I was going to bring up. Yeah. Bill, I think we've got some...
Why interpreters want...
I think we've got some people
this
in the United
instant
States
translator device banned in the...
I'm not going to say they're not smart, but let me do this. I want to show you a news clip, guys. So I want you to take a look at this news clip and tell me what you think here. So let me bring it up.
Mysterious flying object on the island of Kauai.
Yeah, so mysterious it sent military jets scrambling to figure out what it was earlier this week. As Manola Morales tells us,
they had to scramble jets.
I don't believe exactly sure what they saw.
Photographer Abe Kowitz took this picture on
Looks
Monday
pretty
after he saw his neighbor
distinguishable
gazing
to
up
me.
with a puzzled look. The Princeville resident didn't quite know what to make of it.
This is this big, bright star, but it's still sort of daylight out.
Big bright
That's what
star.
it first seemed like, but I'm like, it's bigger. It's not getting close to dusk. We shouldn't be seeing any stars this time of day. That's when I got my camera.
Kowitz is used to pointing his camera toward the sky, but this was unlike any he's ever seen.
Celestial events, I love to photograph. I love to photograph the moon. So it was easy to focus in on that. I was like, it's probably a planet. And then when I took a picture, I'm like, no, it's not a planet.
He says things got even stranger when people saw military jets flying and heard sonic booms over the area. Kauai is home to the Pacific Missile Range. Major General Kenneth Hara sent out a tweet saying, in accordance with Homeland Defense procedures, Pacific Air Forces launched tactical aircraft to intercept and identify the object, visually confirming an unmanned balloon without observable identification markings.
Not surprised that it was being monitored. And I guess if the military figured out what it is, they don't want us to know, or they actually don't know what it is, which would be surprising.
Hara's tweet adds, as part of our normal daily operations, we closely track all vessels and aircraft in the Indo-Pacific area to protect the U.S. homeland. Manola Morales, KHON2 News, working for Hawaii.
Yeah, now you see, Tom, that
We
is
start with
why
a
you're supposed to
mysterious
put your call
flying
sign on those
object on
things.
the island of
I'll
Kauai.
tell you something.
I caught it. I found it.
What'd you find? What? I just can't believe these people are saying that it's a UFO and they don't know what it is, and it looks like a planet.
I mean, it's not
I
very every day that you see 3 ants mooning you.
Oh man, and hey, the Weather Service launches 1,000 a day, just about.
I know. That's
gee.
what gets me is surely they have seen a weather balloon before.
And
It's attacking. Help.
the military has to send up 2. I wonder what the fuel costs to send those 2 F-22s up.
Am I generating any UFO reports yet?
You are. The radar is reflecting pretty heavily right there. I just can't believe the newscast said the military didn't know what it was and they had to scramble 2 F-22s at it, man. Gee.
Yeah, that was a lot of fuel. That would buy you an awful lot of hydrogen.
Oh, wow, man. Huh. Anyway, okay, so, hey.
Because if they were supersonic, they were burning some fuel.
Well, they must have smartened up because they got up here. They decided not to shoot a $800,000 missile at it. Yeah.
And that looked like a very large research balloon.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that looked like some kind of sounding balloon.
Oh, that was a big balloon.
Yeah.
To be able to see it from the ground like that.
Yeah.
Not anything on this size.
No.
By the way, this is one of those spherical Mylar balloons. It's got 4 gores on it.
Man.
It's spherical. You were pressure testing this exact balloon. This one's doing great. It's only leaked about 0.2 grams in the past 2 days. The clear one didn't do so well, but this one's doing great.
Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to talk a minute about that. Let me find key. I'm gonna blame it on Bill again. Blame it on Bill. I gotta pull it up.
I guess I should have read the programming schedule, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's blaming the other Bill.
No, the other Bill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not you, Bill, but the other Bill.
We have a schedule?
What in the world?
I am not getting these memos, guys.
Everything is just really going crazy.
When Katie's out, it's just total chaos.
Total chaos.
Yep.
Well, Bill, were you here when I was talking about my fun today?
Driving through the rain?
Well, that part of it, but I've had this runny nose and stuff since like last Thursday. And I finally decided to go get a COVID test. And I'm negative. But, it's bad when you think you've got COVID first over a cold.
Yeah.
Especially the way this weather has been flip-flopping every 3 days. I mean, we're going back down below freezing for the rest of the week.
Yeah, tomorrow, hey, ice storm tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got another winter weather warning.
I don't believe it.
It's crazy.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, this winter is unlike any winter that I can remember, in that it has gone below freezing virtually every day for the last month and a half.
I've decided that I'm only going to live in a place where water cannot freeze day or night outside.
The
I didn't move far enough south.
Yeah, well, you can move at the sun, but you can only get out at night.
So hey Bill, something just came up on my Facebook group here. Now let's talk a minute about it. It's this is a Leroy Weaver. Here's a sneak peek at a specially built balloon made of special material, scheduled to be launched from Bruton Middle School, Alabama. And I don't know what it is. Are you familiar with this, Bill? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen that. Is that on your?
It's on our Facebook
page?
group. Now that material, I don't know what the material is. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be
Could
interesting.
that be the original sushi wrap stuff?
I don't. That stuff is almost impossible to get. So I'm not sure what that is. But anyway, we've also had some experience trying to build a balloon, and it didn't go well. We could never get our seams to hold up there. It is a tremendous amount of pressure up there. So we were talking about the silver a minute ago, Bill, and you said that you have an idea that the silver coating might actually give it some sealing characteristics where it might help hold the gas in. Have you thought any more about that?
Yeah, but the drawback is it also absorbs heat.
Yeah.
So,
Well, so we thought, and we've got a balloon coming in, guys, that we're going to try to fly real soon, and we think it's going to be a good one. But it's going to be silver, and we were going to try to take the silver paint off. And here's a video. Here's a quick video of me taking the paint off of a test balloon. Let's see if we can get this.
Hey guys, that's an awful lot of sanding.
A bigger balloon that we can fly that's kind of like an SBS. We think we found one. I should have it in this week. It's a smaller balloon, but it's lighter and it should fly as high. But it's silver, and we're going to have to take the silver off. We want it to be a clear balloon so it won't heat up. I've got a balloon here that I blew up today. Again, there's a lot of advertisements for 32-inch, and they're not all 32-inch. Looks like this one blows up to about 24 inches. I put some air in it because I can't take the silver off very easily with it folded up. So I just wanted to blow it up, and then when I blew it up, I couldn't unblow it, whatever that means, deflate it. I've got a hose in here, but it feels like inside the balloon, they've got a valve in there. I can put air in, but I can't get any air out. So I'm going to practice on this balloon here. We only got one of the nice balloons coming in, but we're going to try to fly. This one's not going to fly, so I'm going to practice taking the silver off. Now, take the silver off, I understand. So we've got some sodium hydrochloride, and we got some sodium hydroxide. So hey, both of them are similar names. This ought to work. We're going to give this a try. I don't know how much to put in here. See what I'm going to do. Just for safety.
I don't know what the first one was, but that's lye.
Yeah.
Also, stuff can be caustic and can cause some problems. So we're just going to kind of be
It's
safe.
basically lye is what's
We're
going
put
to take it
here
off.
in this water.
Yeah, that's sodium hydroxide.
Yeah.
I don't know how much to put in here, but that should be enough. That's about a cup full. Now here's our balloon.
Remind me
We're gonna
never
try to,
let you do my
take
laundry.
the silver
Yeah.
off. Now, ideally, if this wasn't blown up, I would take the balloon material and I would submerge it and let it soak. But
I wonder how
can't get
much
this
you
in my-
spilled on them during the
can't
process.
get it in here,
I
so
really didn't spill
I'm gonna
any.
try a little different here. So let's see what's going to happen here. I don't know if it's going to be fast. I don't know if it's going to be slow. I don't even know if it's going to work. So,
Boom.
let's just see what happens here. Let's put a little on here.
Doesn't it usually say on the label, use in a well-ventilated area?
Yeah. I kind of felt like I had a headache after
I
this.
have enough concentration. Hey, I think it's coming off. I can start to see through it. Yeah, it's starting to come off. If I could just lay this balloon in here and soak it, that would be nice. Oh yeah, I see my my hose inside there. You can actually start to see inside there now. And I see plastic around it, and that's what's sealing it.
it's got a little plastic filler in there. It's not letting me, I can push air in, but it's keeping me from bringing the air out. This is just an experiment to see if the sodium hydroxide will take the silver off. I think it's doing it. That's what happens when you breathe it. The camera can come around. You can actually see inside the balloon now. Maybe see through it. You can see my hose in there. It's blocked with a little balloon flap in there, and that's what's keeping the air from coming back out. So if you look at the top, so you can't see through the top, but you actually can start to see through the balloon there. All right, well, we used a very small solution of this. Actually, as it sat on there for a few minutes, it really started taking the silver off. And it's done really well. This is not how you do it, but we're experimenting here. This is the first time we've ever taken the silver off a balloon. And the reason we want to do this is the silver, even though it reflects, the silver also will absorb heat, and the balloon will heat, the gas will heat up as the sun hits the balloon. And that causes some issues. We'll be able to run a little bit higher free lift in a clear balloon than we would when it heats up. Okay, so I just want to show you there. We tested, and we have a way to remove the paint now. Now, Bill has tested the last couple of days clear balloon versus the silver balloon, and Bill, what were your results? Is Bill there? Is he? I would think we lost.
Apparently he stepped. There he is.
Yeah, Bill has tested both clear and silver balloons. So, Bill, what kind of results did you get?
Well, this is the clear balloon, and it leaks about 1.3 grams a day. The silver balloon is just about 0.2 of a gram a day or less. So the silver balloon's doing better. They're the same model. They're the same construction. So spherical. They're pretty cool. They're called orbs, ORBZ, and they advertise them as 32-inch, but in reality, that's the length from here to the top of the balloon when they're flat and they're uninflated. It's not truth in advertising.
They're pretty small.
They're actually about 22 inches in diameter.
How does that loss rate compare to the SBS?
Well, the SBS is very good as far as loss rate.
I don't know, Bill.
Aside from the catastrophic version.
The last four we launched, we lost all of the gas in about 3 hours.
I had one, a group in Pella, Iowa, WB0URW. They stayed up for 110 days and went around the world 8 times. So I think they just lost it yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Probably hit an ice storm. It was starting to show some signs that it was floating at a little lower altitude the last week or so. But 110 days is pretty good.
That's not bad at all.
This compares to the very low rate of 0.2 grams a day. Compares to one of those 36-inch pancake balloons, but they're not spherical. See, these are actually pretty cool because they have 4 seams, and they blow up to just almost a perfect ball. So there's more value. They're almost to the point where you could fly a 10-gram payload with these at about 28,000 feet or so with hydrogen.
But you have to make it
they're only $5 a piece.
Yeah, but you got to make it F-22 proof.
Well, that's I'm going to test that. I'll get out the 22 and see if they'll survive.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if it's spherical, that's going to trigger all sorts of craziness.
Yeah, no kidding. I have seen the metallized one. I had one that I launched years ago from a conference called the Great Plains Super Launch, and it's ham radio balloon enthusiasts meet at this conference in the Great Plains every year. We're holding this one in July in Purdue, Indiana, at Purdue University somewhere. We're just working the details out on it now. It's superlaunch.org. It's the website. And so, anyways, I launched one of these with the pancake balloons and stayed up for 2 weeks. Went out to California, went up to Oregon, came back directly over the launch site in Kansas 12 days later. Then it proceeded to go to Huntsville, Alabama, and flew over my house and my work. And I was standing out in the parking lot at work, and I actually see it flashing in the sky at 30,000 feet above me.
Oh, man.
And that was 17 days after I launched it from Kansas, and having gone to the West Coast and back. It was really wild.
Well, I think you put the wrong kind of tracker in it. It was tracking you, not you tracking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a balloon magnet here that I leave on by accident every once in a while.
So everybody knows we tried a dual launch a couple weeks ago, and both balloons failed. The SBS failed over Georgia, and we recovered it. And the other balloons, there was 2 Chinese balloons. They fell somewhere south of Greenland, probably in the ocean out there. We're going to try to get another launch off in the next week or so with 2 balloons. We're going to fly the new balloon, this new secret balloon that we think is going to fly really well, comparable. We hope it's comparable with the SBS as far as altitude, and it's much cheaper. We're trying to bring the cost down in these flights. They can be very expensive. We've done a large number of flights over the last couple of years, and you know, I kid everybody about we need to join Balloon Anonymous, and but you know, we do build our own tracker, and we save a lot of money. We save a lot of money.
Member with you, we would be close to.
The what?
I'm a charter member of.
Yeah, you are. Oh, you're way over. So we I try to hold the cost in so we can get more flights in the air. Of course, you guys know we build our own tracker. It's amazing this thing can transmit 9,000 kilometers. It's amazing. And you know, my cost to build this is about $1,000. It's got about $35 worth of parts in it, and it's got $900 and something of labor in it.
I was going to say, there's got to be a lot of labor soldering those little flea-sized chips.
So yeah, so it's probably about 35 with that GPS module, the little white speck. That GPS module itself is $23, and we've been playing with some new ones. We've got some new GPS modules, and they're like $3 a piece. So we've instantly cut about $20 off the price of this. So I might be able to construct one of these now for about $13 and about $900 labor. So that, anyway, that's our plan there. Bill's helped a whole lot with us getting the code working right to use the new GPS module here, and our friend Michael over in Sweden has also helped. And in fact, Michael is flying one of the balloons that we're going to try to fly in the next week or so, and it's doing very well. It's on its 3rd trip around right now. So, and the problem about this is, Glenn, I can build for every 3 I build, 1 doesn't work, and I don't know why. But I usually have to build 3 to get 2 that will work. And sometimes, you know, I can resolder and get things going where you know, maybe I can get it working, and maybe I can't. I've got several that are dead. Hey, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we've got some other things to talk about. Didn't get everything. Time to spice up your ham shack with ICOM's new ID52A handheld. This radio is perfect for staying in or venturing out. The ID52A is now shipping. ICOM's newest handheld amateur radio is a VHF-UHF dual bander with D-Star and FM dual mode functions. This radio supports conventional FM communications and D-Star simplex and worldwide calls over the D-Star Internet Gateway. The ID52A is the first handheld amateur radio with a full-color 2.3-inch waterfall display and the ability to send photos over D-Star with a connected Android phone. Features include a wideband receiver with guaranteed range of 144 through 148 and 440 through 450 megahertz. It has an integrated GPS receiver, including grid square location. It also has a micro USB for data transfer, programming, and charging, and it's IPX7 waterproof. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
Ldg Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an Ldg tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. Ldg is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All Ldg products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com.
All right, and we are back. And I'm Tom, and I build trackers. I guess that's how you're supposed to introduce yourself. I got these in. I got these in today, Bill.
You are Tom. You are a balloonaholic.
I restocked my boards today.
Yeah.
There's about 25 more boards. So
Actually, it's balloonatic.
Tom,
I'm in for the long haul now.
I want to tell you a little saga that I've had trying to find the Atmel microcontrollers, the Mega 328P, which is a very common microcontroller that I've been spending $1.74 each for.
Right.
My last order last summer was $1.74 from Ldg. Ldg and Mauser are now saying that they won't have stock on them until 2023, 1 year from today. In fact, one of them said May of 2023 before they would see any. So I've been going and looking at the surplus chips, and I got a quote. I was going to buy 100 of them from Australia from a surplus house. They wanted $46 a piece for them. And I think the quote was just some ungodly amount of money. So, so Brett, you just gave Tom $46 a piece on those.
Yeah, I'll sell you a whole Uno for $45.
Yeah, Brett was nice enough to send me a few, and I'm going to really guard those with my life.
I think I've got a pair of 328 dip chips if you really, really want them.
Yeah, but the surface mount ones, we found some on what was it?
There's some on eBay,
AliExpress.
Yeah,
AliExpress. And AliExpress, they come from China and they're just loose in a package. But what I figured is they probably get those as the end run when they're doing a big assembly order of probably Unos. When they're doing the, let's say they're building a batch of 10,000 Arduinos, they're going to have a bunch of chips fall out at the end on the floor. So they sweep them up and they sell it to us for $5 a piece.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't know if things are going to get better or worse, but you can still find them out there, and the price is going up. But that $45 a piece, that's
That's insane.
They're looking for suckers on that, Bill. I'm glad you didn't.
Hey, I've seen my first book known for $200.
Well, did it really sell for that?
Even I know it's not worth that much.
Did it sell for that, or was it going for that?
Was it?
It is actually sold for that price.
Oh man.
So some people are a little bit desperate.
Yeah.
Of course, we're working on a fix for that. One way or the other, the projects from that first book will be available in another book.
Well, I know you're not giving us any hints.
No, we have not signed anything on a dotted line yet. Let's just put it that way. But that's imminent.
All right. Hey, guys, is there anybody out there that likes to do nets? You know, like a 40-meter net, 80-meter net? You know, I just can't get any volunteers hardly for anything here. I found one guy about 3 years ago that was going to help us call our net for our show. And he was going to do it, and it came down to the day to do it, and his wife got really, really mad at him because he already called 5 more nets that week, and he was never in the house. So he had to backtrack, and I didn't get anybody to help with our net. So I'm looking for somebody out there that might like to help us. I'd like to get our net started again and get some activity on HF again. And, you know, maybe somebody can call a 40-meter net or an 80-meter net, even 20 meters. I mean, let's try some different bands. When I was calling the 40-meter net, that pretty much limited it. Limited it? Is that a word? Limited it? That pretty much limited it to the same area of people, you know, each week when we talked. But if we had a net on 20 and 40 and 80, we could probably bring in a lot more of our group together. So looking for if you want to volunteer and help us call some nets, we'd love to have you do that. Also DMR. We have our own DMR talk group, 31693, for our webcast, our show, and it's not being used. Nobody's on it. And we need somebody to call a DMR net. That would be cool too. All right. Well, you know, hey, I'm hearing hamvention is coming up soon.
No kidding. I've got my plane reservations.
Yeah, I saw Michael Coulter make an announcement about it and talking about it. So it's a go.
They haven't announced the forums yet, though.
Yeah, it's a go. So we're gonna be there, and this will be. Well, I don't know if it can be called consecutive year now. I mean, this would have been about our 40th consecutive year, but of course, COVID took 2 years out, so I don't know how you count that. But anyway, we're going to go there. We're going to have our booth there again this year, but we are not going to do a live webcast from hamvention. It's really expensive, and it takes all of our time. While we're there, I don't have time to look around and see anything. And we're going to go this year and just enjoy it. And we're going to get out and walk the flea market and go look at everything and talk to people. I will take some video and we will bring it back. And on that Tuesday night, we'll have a show and kind of recap the Dayton hamvention. But that's the way we're going to do it this year. So for Dayton, we won't be giving out any prizes. But we will still continue to do Huntsville, May, June, July, August. In August, we'll have Huntsville coming up, and it's just a perfect show, and it's easy to do, and we'll do our regular thing at Huntsville this year. So you're flying
bring your
up,
walking
man.
shoes.
What was that?
You're going to need to bring your walking shoes if you're going to check out that flea market. It will take you all day just to get through that.
Well, you know, I many years ago when it was, I loved it when it was outside at Hera, and we would walk the entire outside flea market. I'd almost never go inside, Glenn, because when I would go inside, I'd get lost and I couldn't tell what building was what, or where anybody was, and it was always such a crowd in there that you couldn't even walk around in there anyway.
But bring boots if you're out by that. The racetrack, I know they've done a lot to improve it, but the first year they did it, it was pretty muddy.
Yeah, it was awful.
I've seen guys out there with their scooter chairs getting stuck in the mud. You could have had a big business towing them out.
They had RVs getting stuck.
Yeah, but they did a lot of improvement on the track, so that shouldn't be an issue this year.
No, they've started putting down that crushed rubber or whatever.
I think that's asphalt, those little clippings from shingles and stuff, you know, covered it out there. We used to walk it outside of here, and we would walk. It would take the entire day to walk everything. It was pretty straightforward because it was like little streets out there. Now, there at Xenia, it's kind of spread out. It's not quite the same. It's the same number, I guess, but it just doesn't feel the same. But we would be so tired. We would be so tired walking there. At the end of the day, man, we were so tired. And if our hotel was 20 miles away, man, we almost were falling asleep. We almost couldn't make it back to the hotel. Hey, Brent asked, what do we do for the internet? There at Dayton, we've done several things. 5 or 6 years ago, Brent, I paid AT&T to put a circuit in, and we put an internet circuit in our booth, and it cost us $800 for 3 days. So the internet was $800 for 3 days, and in a couple years, I hooked up with. Exceed. I think I got something. Let me see if I got something here. We hooked up with Exceed. Oh, yeah. And you guys may remember this. Like, we hooked up with Exceed and we put VSATs or a satellite system in, an uplink and a downlink. And they gave me a complete clear transponder because the internet satellite system was very new to them. And we were the only ones on that channel. But you guys may remember this guy. I don't know if you remember him or not, but this was Exceed. In fact, if you watch our promo of our show when we come on, you'll see this guy right here. I'm interviewing this guy in our promo. So we had internet by AT&T 1 year. We had Viasat a couple years in a row. And then the last year or two, Dayton, Hamvention have put their own network in there at the fairgrounds, and you could get internet through them, which is pretty good.
Yeah, you know that guy that you were talking about, that you interviewed?
This guy here? This guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you realize that because you don't use that service anymore, he's now flipping burgers at McDonald's for $15 an hour?
He may be. What did we do before that? We were outside, and we've been webcasting Hamvention for about 19 years. So internet was really bad 19 years ago up there. But I had a 3G router through Verizon, and we would actually work off 3G, and I can't remember then, but we might have got 50 or 60 kilobit. I don't know. Quality was bad, but the best we could. And
I remember your first few years in the flea market. We would go out there with our cell phones and we'd call relatives and friends and say, tune in W5KUB, and we'd wave.
Yeah.
You'd always have a line of people lined up. We have
a lot of people. A lot of people were lining up to call home and say, look at me,
Yeah, that was before there were video phones,
Yeah.
But one of our most successful, I think, broadcast is we stream live the drive, the 10-hour drive all the way, and we stream the drive back. And 1 year, I don't know if anybody on here might remember it, but it's probably been 10 years ago. We were coming back. We were north of Nashville, coming back, and we got stopped. My friends with us in our caravan in front didn't warn me in time that he went through a radar trap on the interstate. So we only got clocked at 89 and a 70. So we get pulled over, and I have my friend Bruce with me, and I'm driving an Infinity car, but it is packed. We've got hubs and switches in it. We got Ethernet cables running everywhere. We got Verizon routers. We've got dash cams. We got GPSs. We got radios. We got computers running. I mean, there wasn't space in there for an ant to get in.
You should have shown them your Men in
Yeah.
Black card.
Yeah. So the officer, I did a video on this. The officer, oh man, what's her name? I'm losing my memory now. Anyway, she came up to the window of my car and said, "Do you know why I stopped you?" Anyway, so I said, yes, ma'am. So I handed her my license, and about that time, this pickup truck comes by, and wheels are just screaming, man. I think they almost hit her. So she said, she threw the license at me. She threw it back at me and says, "I'll be back." And she ran and got in her car and chased that guy down. Now, so we're sitting there. They sat behind us for like 15 minutes before they came up to my window. So they pretty much knew probably who we were. They'd already run the tag and everything. So anyway, so she's off after this guy that almost runs over her. And she says, "I'll be back." That's the way she said it. So, after about 30 minutes, my friend says, I gotta go take a leak. And on the interstate, you got the woods, the forest up there, He said, I'll go up there. And I said, "No, man, you can't go up there." I said, if she's coming back and she sees you walking out of the woods, she's going to think we put something up in the woods up there, and they're going to tear this car apart. So after about 35 minutes or so, and it's kind of funny, the little signs you see on the side of the interstate, call Tennessee Highway Patrol, dial, pound, whatever. There was one right in front of the car. So we dialed it, and I said, "Hello." I said, I'm so and so, and I'm stopped here. I had it for speeding by Officer Fritz, and I said she had to leave, but I said I think she said she would be back, but I'm not sure. Now, what she really said was, "I'll be back." But I said, I think she said she might be back, and I'm just checking. And they said, "Well, we'll call her on the radio." And I said, "Now, please don't make her mad." And they said, "Wait, she won't be mad." So they called her, and she told the guys on the phone there, says, "Tell them they can go." So we didn't even get a ticket. All right, we didn't even get a ticket. Now, the next year, I tried to contact them and her. I wanted, north of Nashville, with the streaming camera, I wanted to try to meet her in person as we went to Dayton and maybe get her to give us an escort, just a little ways, maybe a mile or two. They never returned my phone call. They never returned my email I sent to them. So I never got to meet Officer Fitz. Now, I did see either earlier, I think probably earlier or later than that, I can't remember. She got wounded in a shootout somewhere. But that was our experience. That was our experience with Officer Fitz. Oh, and everybody's in the chat room wanting to know what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, and people were starting to take up a collection to bail us out of jail. So that was a fun time,
Hey, Tom,
Yeah.
89 miles an hour is just your average internet speed here in northern Alabama.
Is it really? Yeah. Well, I don't know how 89.
You get run over if you aren't going at least 80.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably getting pretty close to where they throw the book at you. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's
Everybody tends to start speeding up once they hit the Alabama border.
see.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah, if you're not doing triple digits, you're going to get run over.
Oh, man.
Kind of like the Audubon here.
Yeah. I lived in Birmingham for 10, 12 years. Never did get used to that.
I need to get me a mask like this. I can do the show one night.
But now when you're driving up to Ohio, everybody starts slowing down as they're crossing into Cincinnati, and they put it right at 65 or 70. They never exceed the speed limit in Ohio.
Yeah.
Everybody grinds to a halt there.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and post the Zoom link here. Guys, you've been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, show about ham radio. We appreciate you. If you're listening out there on shortwave 7490, we'd love to have you join our show, our live video show on Tuesdays. You can find us at w5kub.com. Again, just everybody, if you will, hit that subscribe button. We need you to hit the subscribe button right there. The arrow's pointing at it. Please hit the subscribe button. It'd greatly help us out. And hit the notify button. Sometimes we come on during the week with something special, and that'll notify you. Let me post the link here, and we'll see how many people want to join us on our Zoom link. So here's I think this is the link. Let's see if I can hit the right keyboard. There we go. So hit that right there and join us. And we're now going to go into the after the show. So Amateur Radio Roundtable kind of is officially off, but we can still continue to talk about these things. So we're now going into the after the show on Amateur Radio Roundtable. So, okay, we got somebody here already. Charlie's in here from Uruguay. Let's get Charlie in there. Let's see who else we can get. There's Brett in there. Yeah. John says he thinks his car would lose pieces if he ever got it that fast. Oh, man.
Actually, in my teen years, I actually made the run from Jacksonville, all the way down to Melbourne, I think. It was one full fuel tank, and my foot did not lift off of the gas. That little 6-cylinder Mustang did 102 miles an hour.
Man.
When I graduated from college, Harris was trying to get me to work for them out near Cape Kennedy, and so I flew into Miami, and they had a Trans Am, a bright red Trans Am for the rental car, and those light poles were going by about twice normal speed. I had it up to about 120 on Interstate 95.
I was just going to say, man, you took 95 and it's just a straight shot.
Yeah, I got there in record time. They almost got me. Yeah, and as far as getting a job there, that was a good incentive.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was just up there the other week on up near Daytona Beach and St. Augustine. And, we were on A1A, though.
When they give you a bright red sports car for your job interview transportation,
you've got to use it. Yes.
And you got to use it, yeah.
Well, see, I was at Pratt & Whitney there in the Glades in West Palm, and we had a 5-mile access road from the turbojet engine test area to the main plant. Straight, very lightly traveled, no radar, secure area. I had a Camaro. I will say no more.
I was on the Autobahn years ago, and I was driving with my girlfriend, and a BMW was cheaper to rent than a Ford product in Germany because of the gas mileage. The American cars got better gas mileage, and at $8 a gallon, that was a higher demand than a BMW. So I went for the BMW, and I'm driving down the Autobahn going 170 kilometers per hour. And my girlfriend said, "Bill, you're going 170. Slow down." I said, "No, it's kilometers per hour." Oh, well, that got me and bought me about 10 minutes while she tried to calculate what that was in miles per hour. And so she finally asked me, how many miles are, kilometers in a mile? I said 1.6. So she thought about that some more. And finally, she blurted out, "You're going over 100.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But, if you don't do that, if you see a little speck in your rearview mirror and you try and pass somebody, that speck's going to be right on you because it's going to be a Mercedes going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I do, especially if it's for the number of years Kathy has gone with us and helped us in Dayton and places like that, and sometimes she drives while I'm streaming, and I'll be in the back seat. we'll have a truckload of people, and I'll ask for a price check on aisle 5, and everybody out there knows what price check on aisle 5 means. It means what's our speed. All right. Well, let's see. Charlie, what are you doing tonight? You're awful quiet.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello. You're smiling tonight. You don't look tired tonight.
Yes, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. So what is it, about midnight there?
Midnight. Yeah, midnight.
Oh, boy. You sure stay up late.
Yeah, that's past my bedtime.
Yeah, I wake up late, too.
Oh, and yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, let me tell you, going to Orlando and being on Eastern time really messed up my sleep schedule.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
I'm not used to that Yankee time
yeah,
stuff.
Eastern time.
Well,
Eastern time
I'll tell you
too.
what, Glenn. I flew down to Huntsville and I stayed, a block and a half away from the Von Braun, and for some reason my eyes popped open at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm saying to myself, well, wait a minute, it's 7 o'clock back in New England.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. When I moved from West Palm to Birmingham, that was the most wonderful thing because now I could stay up and watch Monday Night Football and it wouldn't be past my bedtime. That extra hour was worth gold to me back then.
Hey, we changed time, don't we, again in another week or two?
Yeah, it's about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think.
Oh, man, I'll see.
I thought they were going to. I thought they had something in legislation that was going to keep it.
I ain't heard nothing. I wish they'd just do away with it. I'm tired of this flipping back and forth, man.
Pick one and leave it.
Just make everybody in the whole world the same time, 12 o'clock.
I always remember you spring up and
that'll
fall
work for
down.
me. Do away with UTC time. Just make everybody on the same time, 12 o'clock. And if I say let's have a meeting at 12 o'clock, everybody will be there.
Yep.
Just be thankful you aren't in parts of Australia where you're a half hour out of sync.
Yeah.
Hey. Let me tell you.
Done that.
That ain't bad. That's not bad.
45 minutes out.
There's some places that are 15-minute time zones.
Yeah.
And I think I have to look at the map. I think there's
one.
That's
in India, isn't it, Tom?
Down there somewhere. There may be one that's a 20-minute time zone.
Yeah. There's usually only about 3 people in that time zone.
Yeah.
Do they do that to make the trains run on time?
That was the whole idea behind time zones, actually.
Yeah.
It's
John is saying
everywhere because it gets in the next time zone.
Exactly. Huh. Yeah, John in the chat room is saying it's the 13th for the time change, so that's a little over 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, Glenn, we're going to have the big ice storm tomorrow, man. What are we going to do? It's like 70 degrees tonight, but I think the ice storm's supposed to hit tomorrow, man.
Here's the deal, Tom. You're a state away from me.
Yeah.
We're not predicted to get anything other than rain.
Yeah, I think we're just going to get rain.
We're just going to get tornadoes. So
yeah, I'm a whopping 5 miles south.
Actually, the ice and everything is going to kind of go west of us. It follows up the river. It seems like it never crosses the river too much. And also, Interstate 40 is like 10 miles north of us. All the bad weather usually stays above I-40. It never comes down under I-40. I don't know how they can manage that. But
no, you're 18 driving miles from me, so that puts you about 5 miles north and 13 miles east of me.
Yeah.
And that 5 miles north-south difference is all the difference in the world between feet of ice and snow and cold, wet rain.
Yeah. Mark says North Korea has different time zone than South Korea. I didn't know that. I spent a year in Korea, and I didn't even know that. I'm not even sure I even knew what time it was in South Korea. Not even sure I had a watch.
Older than that here.
What was that?
1.4 degrees.
Hold it up again. Hold it up. Let me see again. Hold it up.
That's at least 5 blankets too cold for me.
This is my radio remote thermometer. That's what it is outside.
68.7, is that degrees?
68.7 is inside.
Oh, okay.
1.4 is outside.
1.4 outside, okay.
Yes.
All right, 1.4 outside. Actually,
very cold.
Actually, I just looked at our temperature is 54 outside, so.
Well, yeah, but you know, we went from 70-something degrees to 28 degrees overnight.
The north and the south fight each other weather-wise over our area here, Glenn.
Oh, yeah. I remember. When I first moved to Huntsville or to Birmingham in 84, you guys had an ice storm to die for. I mean, you guys were iced in easily for a week. I remember.
We had an ice storm, I believe, in 97 here. It was like an inch of ice, knocked out power for a full week. And I had to light my friend's Christmas tree light with a motorcycle battery and an inverter.
Yeah. That I think, the early 90s, I thought it was 94 or something, but yeah, that storm.
Crashing down left and right.
It brought down the steel, those big steel high tension lines that go across the country, and it took months to get power back to some people.
94 was when we had like a foot and a half of snow overnight.
And that snow went up to New England where it snowed 3 feet on me.
Yeah.
And we were able to go to the grocery store within a few hours, whereas here in Alabama, that would shut us down for at least a week or two.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had power the next day, but the apartment literally in the same building across the hall from me was on a different feed. They didn't have power for 2 weeks, so we ran an extension cord across the hall.
Well, in the South, you have to figure that the city... everything's going to be shut down for 1 day for every inch of snow.
Yeah. Well, they're talking after this last ice storm about burying the power lines.
You know, I've been suggesting that for...
We did that in Miami, the subdivision I grew up in the 60s.
You know, that seems like the most logical thing to do, but they never do it.
All of our utility lines were buried, and I remember we moved in that house in 67.
Yeah.
Yep, that works until you upgrade
somewhere they come out of the ground, so you got to watch it there, even though you're buried.
Oh yeah,
you know.
But still, you know, it's not on a pole that's going to fall. As a matter of fact, the place where the terminal that came up out of the ground was in my neighbor across the street's yard, and it was about a 10 by 10 foot block, and that's where the transformer was and stuff like that. And that was in a sealed metal shed.
Yeah.
And they never had to open that ever. And we very rarely had power outages. This is 1967.
We've got a pole behind the house, and I think the line is either 7,000 or 14,000 volt. I don't remember which, but it actually broke. I had a tree. I watched a tree fall across it here a few years ago. Actually, astronaut Ldg Electronics was with us. And we both watched it fall there. But I was going to say, we had one outage where a squirrel got up on a transformer and he blew the fuse out, man. I mean, talk about an explosion. I don't think there was anything left of that squirrel.
Yeah, I was going to say, he blew more than the fuse out.
Yeah.
You know, probably the biggest thing you could find of him was a tuft of hair.
I think I found
if you were lucky.
Yeah, I found a little bit of the tail or something somewhere on the ground, but that was all left, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens over here kind of on a regular basis. You know, they jump on it and it pops the breaker. Sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't.
Man. All right.
Lightning damage in the spring and fall also, and you see antennas completely destroyed by the lightning. We have one. You ever see the effect in cartoons where someone puts his finger in the muzzle of the gun and a gun blows up,
right,
like a banana? That's what the antennas did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've been very lucky. I've not had an antenna get hit with a direct hit. But I've seen trees get hit with a direct hit, and yeah, they vaporized the top half of the tree.
Right.
Well, who else we got in here? We got Charlie in here. We got Brett. Did anybody else call in? We need to get more people to join us.
Yeah, you got Bill.
And Bill. Bill's here.
Yeah, we need to get
the
Bill.
troublemaker.
Yeah, we got to get Bill to give up his seat. He causes too much trouble.
Yeah.
No, jeez.
Tell you
Well,
what.
you put Rodan to sleep. She's
Yeah,
down
that's
here.
it. They're going to keep you up all night now. I'm telling you.
Well,
One's on the.
She's laying on the UPS, so she'll be there a while. But I've heard Godzilla tromping up and down the halls here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she's getting wired up.
So you have Godzilla and Rodan. Do you have a Kong?
No. I actually had a Khan years ago, and he was actually named after the Star Trek character, and boy, did he live up to that.
Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, he had that mild-mannered, calm temper, and then he would just go off on you. But no, these two, it's the 3 a.m., 4 a.m., tag team wrestling matches.
Yeah, well, you're up at 5 anyways to go to work, right?
I'm up at 5, but I am not up at 3 or 4. I will sit there and I will wait until that digit clicks over to 5 and turn the alarm off on the first beep rather than wake up 5 minutes early. But the problem is, if I move so much as an inch, if I breathe funny, if I make a funny sound between 4 and 5, somebody's nose is in my face. And it's like, oh, you're up. Come feed us. And once they get you to acknowledge that they got you, you're toast. You might as well get up at that point.
Yeah.
All right,
boy.
Here we go. Look at this picture. This is,
Here we go. We got a weather alert. Let's see what the weather alert is.
Where did we get a weather alert?
I'm hearing it.
It's probably going to tell us we're having an ice storm in like 3 hours.
Flood warning.
Oh, yeah. This is one of our members sent this picture to us from the UK. They had 110-mile-an-hour winds, straight line winds over there, and it kind of did a little damage.
Little? Oh, my God.
Willow.
That kind of reminds me, Glenn, do you remember when Hurricane Elvis came through Memphis?
Yeah.
That was pretty tough, man. For people that don't know what we're talking about, it was termed by the news and everybody as Hurricane Elvis. It wasn't really a hurricane. It was over 100-mile-an-hour straight line winds that came through here. And man, I mean, rain and wind, it was going sideways, and if it wasn't screwed down, it was gone.
I think that put my neighbor's tree in my pool.
Well,
he had a big sassafras tree.
My son, Chris, EC5CM, he lived out in the county, and he had 3 or 4 big 80 or 90-foot trees come down on top of his house. And it actually, in his house, he actually had a furnace, up in the attic and gas and everything. And he actually, I thought he did pretty well by himself here. He actually, in all that mess, found a wrench and went out and turned the gas off because it was spewing. But it demolished his house, and it took about a year to put that thing back together.
Yeah, that sassafras tree literally fell right into the pool, and one of the big limbs literally hit the bottom, and you could see a little harder, and it would have punched a hole in the gunite at the bottom of the pool.
Well, yeah.
We got that patched. But
for those that remember back this month, last year, we had a big tree fall on our house, and it actually broke up the driveway. I think I had 6 20-foot squares of concrete replaced because it actually tore up my driveway when the tree fell. And hey, Glenn, ice storm tomorrow. Maybe I'll get to use a generator. I don't know.
Well, I'm working from home tomorrow, so let it happen tomorrow, because
All right.
Thursday I got to go into work.
All right. Well, if you lose power, come on up. We'll have power.
Let me tell you something. After driving in that deluge on the way home today, I think I'll just stay home and freeze to death.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was on 240 in the middle of just torrential rain today. All because I forgot my cell phone.
Well, you need to forget it every day.
I've got a little note on it that says, just leave me here.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty nice your boss sending you home.
Oh yeah. No, they're still on COVID, protocols and stuff.
Yeah.
And so they want everybody staggered. I'm the only one in a cubicle for like 6 cubicles around me.
All right.
And so they've got me for, Tuesday, Thursday, and then they've got other guys doing Monday and Wednesday and staggered all over the place.
All right. Well, speaking of COVID, there we go.
Oh yeah. Let's not talk about that.
There we go.
Yep. Well, you hear I'm stuffed up and stuff, and trust me, I went and had myself tested. I am negative. This is, honest to God, a thing that we have forgotten that exists. It's called a cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's real. But I was so, sure that I had the crud that I went and took a test. And it's like, nope, you're fine. It's just a cold. And, but when you look up the symptoms, you can't really tell the difference anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
It says, you might have a fever, you might not. You might have a runny nose, but you might not.
The symptom of everything is COVID.
Yeah.
Everything. So,
but like I say, I went and took the test just to be sure, and it's about as negative as they can be. So I'm like, okay, good. I'll live.
We're coming
There's
to you
nice
from
background.
Studio A. This is Studio A.
Yeah, I'm about to completely revamp my shack in here again.
Let me go back to the ham shack. There we go.
I have empty shelves.
Oh no, gotta buy more radios.
Well, that's just it. The 950 is gone. The 847 is gone. The Rebel is gone. The Microbit X is gone. Gosh, what else is gone? Just empty space. Just waiting for that FTDX 101 MP and the 9700.
And when is it coming?
I've got an FTDX 560. You can that I'll let you have.
No. It's the 101 MP. I have been going back and forth with Gigaparts on all of the features and options and everything.
It only weighs 60 pounds and it's got tubes. Man, it's
actually, though, that was one of the first radios I ever saw was the original FT 101, the 101E, and I fell in love with that radio. That was just, for its time and era, that 101 was the sweetest rig you could get.
And the 560 was a pretty nice rig too.
Yeah.
It's been in my barn for 50 years.
Oh, wow. I saw one, a 101, what is it, the Z? It was Z with another letter, like a Z-A, Z-E, something like that, at Collinsville that still had the plastic on it.
Mine still has the plastic on it.
Oh,
I
man.
never took it off.
That was, and I looked at that and I looked at that and it's like, I'd never use it. I couldn't turn it on. couldn't bring myself to. But no, the logistics are all worked out. When I was in Orlando, I had a long talk with Gigaparts on the best way to move that amount of money and get it shipped here safely and everything and all of that. And it looks like it's probably going to be mid to end March when I pull the trigger.
Yeah, well, I know somebody that tried to order a 7300 from Gigaparts.
Yeah, it's going to be out of stock.
It actually showed up on their website that they had one left in stock. The kid got on there and he put the thing in, and they sent him an email saying that it was already sold.
Yeah. Well, and see, with the 101 MP, the max package they had, which has got all of the filtering options in it, that's a special order. So they just said, it's going to be back ordered, place the order, and we'll order it and get it to you.
Well, this chip shortage is going to affect everything. I tried to get Starlink, and their terminals now are not going to be available until 2023, a whole year from now. Wow. Because they don't have the chips to make the terminals to sign up to the service.
Well, given their success in launching satellites, that there may also be other reasons.
Well, they actually got them launched. They were in the low parking orbit when the solar flare got them.
They lost all but let's see, what was it? 9 satellites out of 49 they launched?
Yeah, they lost 40. Yeah, they'd put them up in that parking orbit to test them, and then the solar flare got them before they made it up to their high altitude. Made them re-enter early.
Hey, Glenn, I'll send you this $1 million bill.
Yeah. They told me they wouldn't take cash. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to go through I don't want to say hassles, but I'm going to have to call my credit card company and let them know I'm about to make a very large purchase. Otherwise, they'll reject it.
But if inflation continues, Glenn, you might need that $1 million bill to buy that radio.
That's probably true.
Better get it now.
I'm working on it. Believe me.
Hey, go ahead and pay for it. Go ahead and pay for it now, and then pick it up in August when you get down there.
Well, see, if I pick it up, I got to pay taxes.
Oh.
Well, no, they can ship the box to you. You can pick the radio up. They can ship the box.
They can ship the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that was the whole deal. Is it's free shipping, and if they ship it to here, I don't have to pay sales tax.
Yeah.
So that's part of the deal. I'm gonna, that's gonna save me you're talking what, a $5,000 radio, so you're gonna save, a couple $100 in sales tax.
Yeah.
But
I look at the one that they have up here at HRO in Salem, New Hampshire, and I just shake my head and say, I wish I won the mega. The Powerball, because I'd buy it, But until then, no.
Well, they had one down in Orlando, and I did not realize that it had a VGA monitor output on the back of the rig, and there was so much drool on the floor in front of that radio, and that was just me. I was just like, I want it. So, that's.
I used to hang out in that Salem, New Hampshire HRO store quite a bit, Bill.
Yeah, they've done well up there in that little thing there. I remember when who was it, Manny?
Do you know Gene Belinsky?
Yes, I do.
I haven't talked to him in a while, but I was very good friends with Gene. He showed up here at the Redstone Arsenal. I saw him signing into my work, and I was right behind him, and I started whistling his call sign in Morse code, and he wheeled around. He didn't expect to see me right behind him in Alabama.
You know what surprised me? In Collinsville, they had a micro center, and I hadn't heard or seen of one of those in years, but apparently there's still 18 locations, and one of them's in St. Louis. And Joe Eisenberg took me there, and I was trying to find a way to buy one of everything. They had a whole row. We're talking a complete aisle of keyboards. Just one complete aisle dedicated to keyboards. And I mean, it was just phenomenal. They had stack of the Ender 3 3D printers. They were literally in a pyramid of boxes in the middle of the aisle. You know, like 40 or 50 of them right there. And I'm like, get me out of this store before I reach for my credit card.
Yeah, well, the one in Denver actually has 2 aisles dedicated just to Arduino.
Yeah.
Which
Which
store is that?
That is Denver, Colorado. It's right at the junction of Interstate 25 and Interstate 225.
I mean, well, what's the name of the store again?
Micro Center. They're a chain of computer stores.
It's one of the original computer center chains.
Yeah, I've been to the one in Ohio. They had one in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Fry's.
Yep.
Like Fry's
Yes.
used to be.
See,
I did.
My fate in life is that I'm always 4 hours away from a Fry's.
What has Tom got there? What you got, Tom?
He's got some kind of clear plastic.
Balloon.
It is balloon, huh?
Yes.
Is that one you blew up, Tom?
You have no audio, Tom.
Yeah, that's all we got back from Georgia. That was the SBS that was on top of the school.
Oh, wow. At least you know, have a good idea what happened.
I got the filling nozzle on the bottom there.
Yep.
Does that look good?
Yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah. You got the electronics back?
Oh, yeah. In fact, we're going to fly them again probably next week.
We sent a 10-digit grid square on JT9, and after it landed in Georgia, I went to a remote SDR radio in Virginia, and I could copy the signals coming from the rooftop. And when a 10-digit grid is a 63-foot by 100-foot box, so we put that on a map, and sure enough, it showed it was on top of the roof of a
elementary school.
That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's better than that tree there with that big balloon there that went 108,000 feet there, huh, Tom?
Yeah. So
I'm still impressed with the accuracy of the tracking on that one.
Really?
Well,
yeah,
not so much the tracking; it's the prediction model. You're talking about the high altitude when we sit up and it popped and came down.
I mean, you were literally, if you had not made a wrong turn, you would have been within 100 feet of it when it came down.
Well, yeah, I mean, the prediction and the actual was almost right on, man. It made a little S shape, and it was right on, man. It was amazing. I don't think we'll ever do another one like that. We were lucky; everything went perfect on that one. If we launched another one, we'd probably lose it. I don't know. I don't know if I could stand the excitement.
Yeah, no, don't push your luck. Take the win on that one.
Don't know. Hey, here's something I've been doing last few days. I've got a bunch of laptops. We got about 10 or 12 laptops that we use for the show, and when we go out and set up at Dayton and Huntsville, we'll usually set 2 or 3 laptops up and put monitors on them and put the chat room on one and maybe the video on another, or they're good for a lot of things. Anyway, a lot of the laptops were had XP in them, and which is still good. I mean, they're still functioning very nicely for us. But I pulled the old mechanical hard drives out of a few of them this week, and just stuck in some cheapy solid state drives. You get these solid state drives now for about 20-something bucks.
Yeah,
they're getting really cheap. I put these suckers in. I put Windows 10 on one of them. It runs fine. And on 2 of them, I put Ubuntu on them. The Linux-based operating system, and they're working great, man. So
yeah.
Hey, upgrade your old laptop with something like a $30 hard drive, solid state hard drive. Now this is only 120 gig. This is only 120 gig. I could have got a 240 or a 1 terabyte, but basically all we use as far as surfing and chat room and stuff like that. So the 120 is plenty big.
I
What,
miss
what
that.
do you use for an operating system on it, though?
Well, like I said, I put Windows 10 on one of them, but on two of them I put it's a Linux. It's Ubuntu,
Oh.
and it's free. The Linux version is free, and works pretty nice.
We
Yeah,
have several
I
of them
mean,
running FreeBSD, which is similar to Linux. It's a little older.
Yeah, what is
yeah,
that?
I'm slowly being forced to upgrade. TurboTax won't run on anything lower than Windows 8 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But I'm with you, Bill. XP, once they got once they made it to Service Pack 1, XP was phenomenal.
I still have XP on my Ham Shack computer,
Yep.
and I just 2 clicks, and I've got Notepad up instantly. Now it's like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
There's
Let me think
layers,
about
layers.
loading this.
Oh man.
Yeah.
speaking about projects, in the chat before, people were talking about soldering irons.
Yes.
Just discovered I have this here. This is kind of cool. This is a Milwaukee battery-powered soldering iron.
Yeah.
So you don't need to use butane. You just take one of these little batteries.
Yeah.
You put it in, and this works great in the field.
That's a heavy duty
That's
one.
a heavy duty. I used to have one, but it was much smaller than that.
Yeah, I did too. What was the name of that? It was yellow. It had a little
Walt?
button. Yeah. Well, no, that wasn't a DeWalt. It was
Ryobi?
I don't know.
No, it was just a little tiny electric soldering.
Oh, I know the ones you're talking about. Yeah.
Had
It had a little
rechargeable.
red
This one had
button on it
rechargeable
that-
batteries.
Oh, I lived with those for forever.
They work pretty well.
This one I had.
Those were my favorites forever. The tips wouldn't last long, but they were perfect heat for doing circuit
The one I
boards.
had was rechargeable, and you just set it down in a little charger, and it would charge.
Yeah,
These were little.
That's what it was.
And
These were
one
little
has-
110 volt ones.
And this one has a temperature gauge and a temperature control, so it doesn't just heat as hot as it can. It actually heats up to a specific temperature.
That looks like that could also be a jackhammer. Does that thing break up concrete or anything?
No, it's not. I guess it looks bigger on screen.
I was going to say that's going to be a little bit of an issue trying to do surface mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has a little needle-like tip. I think I might dare to try.
Braver man than I am.
Really, really clean.
That's cool.
No, this is the latest fun toy. I'm having a lot of fun building stuff with this.
Yeah. Wall, WAHL, wall
That's
cordons.
it. That was
Yeah.
it.
Wall.
Yeah.
My
Well,
first.
so I may be leaving soon. It's getting late here.
You're looking tired.
Yeah, now, yes.
Yeah.
I'm adding, I told last time that I'm building I was going to build the antenna tuner
Yeah.
for my QRP little kit. And this is, I think this is a clone from a well-known
Yeah. Yeah.
tuner. I don't think this it has a very good software or something, because it sometimes doesn't solve the problem, or sometimes it has like does the same thing but with different results. So I don't think it's a very good software. It's like you press the button.
An auto tuner doesn't always tune everything perfect. Sometimes you might have to change the length just a little bit of the wire.
Yeah, like Alan was explaining, but now I have to put it into the case. I have to make a case or buy the proper case for it. I don't know. I think I will make something to put it in. But will go very well together with the QRP Labs little digital mode transceiver. But this claims to work with 100 watt. I don't know, but maybe.
Well, it might. I tell you, I've got a auto tuner. I've got a 1.5 kW auto tuner, one of the MFJs, which it works great.
Big MFJ.
And that thing has the smallest relays in it. it's amazing. You know, when I would homebrew stuff 50 years ago and build stuff, we'd use big relays for antenna switching and stuff. These things nowadays have the smallest little relays in them, man, and can handle 1,000 watts.
Yeah. Maybe the materials they use for the contacts and everything are really...
I think the tips have contacts that are kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I was all set to go out and buy one of those SG 137 or 237 tuner kits. And as I was cleaning off the desk here, I had a Ldg Z11, which is a 100-watt tuner.
Yeah.
And got to looking, and that thing has two modes. It's got the push button mode that keys the rig and then tunes, but it also has that automatic mode that you just do a little keystroke, and now whenever you key up, it'll auto tune.
But is that LDD?
This one does the same, but of course, as every Chinesium thing, you never understand what the display is saying.
Right. So Glenn, does that have? Is that tuner to go outside, or is that an inside tuner?
It's an inside tuner.
Usually they put the little button on there where you can, manually do it. Of course.
Oh, it does. It has that, but you can also tune from the rig, vice versa. But you can set it into the automatic mode, and I can put it out in the car, mount it out of sight.
Yep.
And do it that way, and that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I didn't realize I had it, so I had that on my list of toys to buy. So now I've got toy money again.
Just pick up around here, and no telling what you'll find.
Yeah, I'm amazed at some of the stuff I'm finding.
Yeah.
Finding cats' toys I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
I'm using an SG237. I have a Delta loop by my roof that's cut to exactly 40 meters, and the tuner is just in the middle of the loop.
Yeah.
So it tunes to 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, and 60.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I couldn't do that without the remote tuner.
It's nice. It's really nice, man. It'll tune just about anything out there.
But I'm testing with this, maybe some like the LDGs and everything work much nicer or faster, but I don't know. I wanted to test something, and this is really expensive. I paid, I think, $36 for it, which is
that's a pretty good deal. Just got to fix the software.
I didn't even. Of course, I had to wind all the coils and everything. But I have no problem with that. I like it. Yeah,
that's half the fun.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, so that came out very well. I have to do a little case for it, and this the Chinesium connectors. These are awful. They look very nice. But they are not like very well made, so some connectors don't go in very well, so I have to replace them with some good amphenol or something, branded ones, so that's the project. But yes, working with this in line with the automatic tuning mode on, it's really good when you change bands, and it suddenly makes the tuning itself, so it has no problem. Works.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. So, and now I have the amplifier kit coming on its way. It's a single band one. It's a 40-meter band amplifier for the QRP Labs thing. So I'll have like 50 watt output on 40-meter band. So, and that will
wait a minute. What's the point of buying an amplifier for a QRP rig?
No, because I'm a QRO guy. I'm not QRP. Yeah,
that's what I was working towards.
Of course, I was thinking, and I may even do it. I was thinking of connecting the 5-watt QRP thing into one of the. I have a 30L1 amplifier, but I can hook another one, which was my dad's, to the output of the 30L1 to drive a 300 watt output from 5 watt. 2 linear amplifiers in series. Will that work?
The 30L1, that's nice. Now, that's the small tabletop, right? The 30L1?
30L1 is really nice.
The tabletop. Really nice. I want the 30S1.
Yeah, that's as I said, the father of all amps.
Yeah, that's it.
But I've been watching some videos, one from a Brazilian guy, which is really good technician, and they send him from many places around Brazil the gear to fix him, and he's like really professional. He replaces everything perfectly, and he bought for himself 130S1, and it's a really it's really difficult to keep alive. It's like it has the mercury.
I bet you. I think that 30S1 only has one tube in it. I think it's one.
Yeah, but it has the mercury rectifiers, which you have to put and now as it got really old, you have to change the capacity.
A lot of people are converting. They're taking the mercury rectifiers out. They're converting that.
Yeah, but also the electrolytic, which are not electrolytic, the oil cans. Is this
the old cloth wrapped or paper?
Yes. Oh, I don't know if it's from eBay. I don't know. Where can I see the link?
Well, I bet you that tube in at 30. That tube must cost $2,000. Man.
Yeah, I think it's this one, but this one comes with mine came with all the SMD parts soldered to it. Oh, gee, this is really expensive. I'll give you the link of mine. Wait a second, please. Amazon, and I bought it in Amazon, which is orders. Let's see. Here it is. It's the clone of the N7 DCC. I'll throw you the link over there. And let me see in the chat here, right? Where do I type here? There it is. Okay. Which I paid $36 for, and all the SMD parts came soldered to it. So, and it's very funny because the case it costs like $30-something also. So if you buy both things separately, it costs less than if you buy the whole kit with all together. So it's funny, I don't know. So that's it.
All right.
It's working.
Go to bed, Charlie.
Yeah. Okay.
You were leaving.
Hasta luego, amigo.
Ciao.
We got about 10 minutes left on our show.
10 minutes,
here,
yes.
We'll be signing off here in a few minutes. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we got a few still in the chat room. We'll say hello to you guys. Thanks for being with us. If you're out there and you hadn't done it yet, you know what to do. You know what to do there. You got to do this.
You guys got to go to Wally World there and buy some rock salt for that ice that you're going to get.
I don't think we're going to get any. It's going to be on the other side of the river, so.
Yeah, I think it's going to pass north of me.
Yeah.
All they're saying we're going to get is rain, but we're right on that line where forecasters can't predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, unless something changes and it moves east about 10 miles, we're not going to get it.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything out of this other than cold and rain.
Yeah. Mark P is there. He's going to get it up in Ohio, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're not going to get down to half a degree. It's just not going to happen.
Well, those people up in Ohio, they get it one day and we get it 2 days later, So.
Yeah.
You know what is worse than January in Ohio?
August.
February in Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you something. I worked with Control Data and then a company called Network Systems, and they were headquartered in Minneapolis. And it seems like all of the Southern field engineers got the training classes in the dead of winter. And it seemed like every winter for 14-something years, I would spend like January 15th to February 14th in Minneapolis. And I'd fly up there and it'd be 20 below with 60 below wind chills, and I'd fly out and it's still 20 below and 60 below wind chills. You all can have that, okay? Just keep it. not happening.
My sister came to Ohio once for Christmas. It was 75 degrees in Los Angeles, and it was minus 25 when she arrived in Columbus, Ohio, having dropped 100 degrees.
Yeah. That was actually part of the Orlando trip that I actually liked, is I could wear my jacket. It was in the 60s and 50s on Wednesday and Thursday, and it gradually got warm, and then Saturday was almost up to the 80s. But yeah, I mean, it was actually perfect weather for us northern people going south.
There you are. That's what he's talking about right there.
Yes, sir. Well, they told me there was some big guns, and I'm sitting here looking for some DX.
Yeah,
And, well, no, and that's what I came across, and I'm like, well, I bet I could do some things with those.
I bet you could shoot a line over a tree. You could put a basketball in that thing and tie a string to it. And
well, they actually had mortars there that were for defending from ground troops, and I swear the mortar balls were bigger than a bowling ball.
Oh man!
I mean, this thing, the barrel was like this big around, and that long. Just a short little barrel.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here thinking, launching a bowling ball in the middle of something, good grief.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was an interesting fort, the way it defended the inlet and everything. I would not want to try to sail past that place. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
All right, everybody out there listening on WBCQ, glad you're with us tonight. Tune in next week. This is amateur. Well, this is actually the after the show. It comes on after Amateur Radio Roundtable. We talk about ham radio and everything in between. We got just a few more minutes. Well, Glenn, you can sing the national anthem here as we sign off in a minute.
No. I think you would like to have some viewers return next week.
Yeah, it's kind of like what was the Chevy Chase movie? The mother they were going to say the prayer at the Thanksgiving lunch, and she stands up and says the Pledge of Allegiance.
Well, I would sound like a cat with its tail caught in the car door.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bill. Bill, I got to work. I got two trackers built out. One seems to be working and one don't work. I haven't verified your software yet.
Okay.
I need to load the working one and see if it works.
Bill, what'd you have to do on that software?
Just add a command to put it into GPS mode instead of BIOS and GPS. It just saves power.
Oh, okay.
I think he had a TCXO that had, some of the traces have pads underneath the where the chip solders down, which is bad news for trying to hand solder. It just sucks the solder away from the pad. So
okay.
So that's probably.
So it wasn't really a programming thing on the GPS. It was just the mounting.
The TCXO was not.
Well, I put that in with I put that in with hot air.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's the only way. I put it in with hot air, but
that's a good way to do
I redid it. I redid it and pressed down on it with the tweezers, and obviously it fixed the problem.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, see if my software works. I'm trying to set it up so that all you had to do is set one variable, true or false, to switch between.
Yeah, it's already set. I didn't see any place in there to change. I mean, I didn't change anything. Was it already set for the 336H?
I set it up for the 336H. I'm pretty sure I did. I better check that.
Yeah.
I think I did. Let's see. Hold
on.
I
see the one in here that says false on the U block. it said false equal U block or U block equal false. Then it said
if it said U blocks equals false, then yeah. Actually, it says max 8 equals false.
Yeah.
Then it should switch to the command for the ATGM without doing. I think what it was doing is sending U-block commands to it, and it got confused.
Yeah.
What language are you using to program that?
C, Arduino C.
Oh, okay.
Just standard Arduino C, pretty much.
Yeah, I've been playing with MicroPython.
Oh yeah, that's fun. You can do a lot with that.
Yeah, that's where I'm heading. At some point, I picked up a pair of the Picos from the Micro Center up there. But that's going to be next year.
And then, Tom, I'm going to update the software so you can turn either selects the slow CW or not. But that's going to take a little bit more time to fix that up.
You know, the CW is in there because I see the ones and the O's, but it's not transmitting it.
It won't transmit it because I have it commented out in the timing 4.h section.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I know on one I had it and on one I didn't. Now, when we launched that dual launch last week, I think
the AC5CM one.
I think that one had it turned off, but I had it on the other one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I switched the frequencies and I turned off the CW on that one, the one that landed on the school.
Yeah, I need to straighten this stuff. I'm getting so confused. I got so many different versions, and last time we made that launch, I switched the software on the two balloons at the last minute, so I can't remember which software was running on what balloon and which,
Well, just remember, it's real easy now. It's going to be 022222.
Okay. All right. I got you. It'll be 2020. It'll be 2020 TWO. No, TOO. 2020 TOO or whatever that is. Yeah.
It'll be 2222. 2.
Yeah. Well, you could put the time in here too.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
2. You can take the time down.
And 222.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we need to close it up here. I need to get me something to eat. Maybe watch a little TV. I hope my balloon comes tomorrow, Bill. They said it shipped like a week ago. But, we had a holiday and everything, no mail, so yesterday.
Yeah, I got one in order too. So we'll see.
I'm sure hoping when I measure it.
I hope it's a real 32 inch.
Yep. And what I'm gonna blow it up with air just to see if I can get a diameter of it, after it fills out. And then, of course, we'll have to get the air out, and then we'll try to
I've been using this Balloon Time little canister helium.
Yeah.
To test them.
Yeah. All right.
I've got the good helium in the back room in the lab, but I hate to waste that for just doing pressure testing.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable. 73 to everybody.
73 y'all.
See y'all later.